actually see it right now. Fuck. There we go. Oh, the presents here. One of my aunties really filled this thing up. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Go to the other room and do this. Just right now. So. Merry Christmas, everyone. I just woke up like not too long ago. So I just decided to come down, set in a few servers, and by a few I mean one. So I'm just here, and I also don't know if there's gonna be chilling until take a shower in a bit so people can come over and relax. Oh God. Merry Christmas. Catch you guys.
I'm warned, but he got his camera.
Smell like sweet potato.
It smells like I hope I didn't let them burn.
You made sweet potato?
No.
No. So can you make sweet potato?
It smelled like sweet potatoes.
No. They was on, I didn't.
You had sweet potatoes.
Alright.
They go with the chicken.
I'm on.
Skills. Tell her to hang up. You got
They said I gotta go.
You blaming everything on us, huh?
What she said about these?
They what?
They are at the
They got
house.
it. They got it.
All right, who praying?
Mike.
Nothing.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. Father, in the name of the Lord Jesus, we thank you, Lord. We thank you for another Christmas. Oh God, we thank you for allowing our family to come down through this year.
Yes.
We've had sorrows too, but you delivered us and you brought us down. You're so good to us, Lord. And you still give us health and strength, enable us to go and come. And Lord, we just thank you for your goodness. We thank you for your loving kindness. We thank you for our sisters and our brothers and our nieces and our nephews. We thank you for them, Father. Bless them, Lord. Oh God, help us to acknowledge you in all our ways so you will direct our path. And we thank you for this gathering and for what you will do for us in the unity. And we give your name glory and praises. In Jesus' name, amen. Lord,
Let me
it's my
see your
shepherd.
hand. You see that? Should not want.
Here's the first plate. We got some ribs on the dirty rice the mom keeps making, chicken, yams, and macaroni. That's probably the part right there. And hopefully this will hold up. This my mom got me this for the holidays, so I can wear it as a sweater and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna be eating this. Then whenever we get some gift exchanges, we're gonna film that, get other pictures and shit. And at 6, I gotta be back up here and do some stuff. So yeah.
Say cheese. Boogie, look. Say cheese. Boogie. That's the quiet. Trying to hit me. Boogie, you go quiet like.
Excuse me. Someone give it.
He's so stubborn.
This for me.
Thank you.
Get the rest of it.
Get the rest of it.
Look, you look. You so mean. This look, Eric. Oh. Okay.
You said that you did
I don't got no more gift for you. Lana, They're here.
If he got somewhere to park.
Yeah, he can pull right there.
The Pootie got him gonna get some of that. Pootie, I think that's it. I don't know what the little one says. What's the little one?
I don't care nothing about what y'all talking about. I can't do that the whole 20 minutes because it'll be an hour and a half.
Okay, then.
I ain't got an hour and a half.
Well, Marsha next.
Mama! What? Come on.
She's around.
All right.
It'll take an hour for me to help you.
We got to talk about football, basketball.
What you want to talk to me about?
Oh, I have my questions.
Money made the show seat.
The whole purpose of it is not.
Oh shit! You ain't finna do an interview. Yes,
What you
I'm
gonna
on.
ask your mama?
The same
The
thing
same
I asked
question.
you.
But I'm gonna tell you now, don't
I mean, can I like interject?
don't be
Sorry,
talking
Quentin,
about
sorry.
No, it's fine. I don't care.
Get a
Hello,
chair.
Excuse me, she's talking to me.
Get a
I just
chair.
stand up. I don't.
No, it might not hear you, so everybody.
Oh, it's gonna
else-
hear me.
I'm
I'm laughing.
All right, go ahead.
Don't introduce me though. Just.
This is this MB.
I might have to leave.
What's the bank? MB?
Oh, okay.
Y'all need to stop drinking. You got your camera guy in the mix now too, so it's official.
Why y'all hating on me? Bunch of haters.
She's serious, y'all.
Where you going?
Oh, where you?
No, I'm in there.
Yes. It's the only one that ain't here is the one that left.
All right.
Let's do the darn thing.
And don't ask my age.
Can you be quiet?
And don't ask my age.
I'm not, okay, here's other rules. I'm not gonna ask you y'all ages, because I already know.
And don't ask me where I work.
I'm not gonna ask you ages, not gonna ask you where you work.
No type of personal stuff.
I'm not
No
asking
personal stuff.
And Auntie Lane just sitting there like, well, y'all come on.
Right,
You
that's
know?
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's do the darn thing. But I just only ask that you do not talk over each other.
Oh, I'm good for me.
Debbie and Marsha. Do not amplify his voice. Do not amplify your voice.
Is he your co-producer?
No, but he know what I'm talking about. So hold on, don't amplify your
Is
voice.
Leo the co-producer of the show?
Marsha.
Okay, stop it.
So that's really Marsha. Don't
Oh my
scream.
God.
Give us that same voice you give us when we.
I
when we
will. I
call-
will do
when we
this.
Call your job.
Let's do it.
All right, we're ready.
I think that's it. Please don't argue with each
I'm
other.
not going to argue.
Okay.
That's for y'all too.
I love
Yeah,
everybody.
All right.
Except Karen.
Lonnie, can you get my drink off that table by the microwave? Because I see now I got to be ready for that.
Now we are back. So this Christmas special continues. Now I have 3 other people. 2 are my aunts. 1 is my mother. This is their first time being on a podcast, so you guys pray for me as well as I will pray for them. So the purpose of this is the purpose of this interview was, I believe, that the older generation, we may make fun of them and get on them about being out of touch, especially if you're the younger generation. But I do believe that time to time, or the majority of the times, they do have a lot of knowledge to give out. And they are very knowledgeable, some more than others. They have a lot of life experience that you can gain a lot of knowledge from. So I'm just going to spend a few minutes talking to them about them being younger. For people who don't know, which you would not know, they have a total of 11 siblings. I don't know how they got through an entire household with 11 siblings. I'm the only child, so my grandparents were some awesome grandparents, because I know all 11 of them, and I'm telling you, they all different, all 11. So thank the three of you who are here. Thank you so much for coming on my podcast.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome.
I'm Marsha.
Thanks for having me.
Do you want to say your name?
Marsha.
Karen.
Hi, Mama.
Hey, Chris. And Debbie.
Hi, Aunt Debbie.
Hi, Carissa.
Hi, Aunt Marshall. You don't say your last name. Not the people know who you are, but I will take that out. Now you guys grew up with 11 siblings, one by one, starting with the youngest. Tell me something about growing up with 11 siblings.
Well, I'm Marsha. I am the youngest, next to the youngest. I had a brother, Eddie, and it was fun. During the holidays, it was especially fun because my parents, they made sure that we all had gifts and things that we wanted. So that was one fun memory that I had during the holidays.
Okay, I'm Karen. I am the middle child, 5 over me and 5 under me. Growing up in a family of 11, we really didn't need any friends because we were our own friends. And the block, the block that we lived on in Chicago, everybody congregated to our porch, to our front porch. So it was like the porch was like a meeting place for every kid on the block. The most fond memories that I have for holidays in our family was me and my other sister, Audrey, who is type of doll. One doll had brown hair and one doll had black hair. We knew whose doll was who. So that's a good memory.
My good memories were basically growing up by me being the oldest girl. I could always have something that my sisters needed. I also remember them coming in my room and just taking things. But it was a good memory because, you know, we never had to go out and shop and do a lot of things. We were able to share with one another.
That's awesome. I don't understand that or know anything about having siblings because I was blessed to be the only child. Where a few of my cousins are, so you know we understand. I don't know about this sharing thing that you're talking about.
Wow.
People going into your room taking things. I don't know. I would have a complete fit if that happened.
Oh, you know what? We had to accept it because there was so many of us, and sometimes you know we would demand that person to take my stuff off, but you know that didn't happen because they already had the clothes on.
Okay, so. Great question, right? It was 11 of y'all. Who had? Now, I have my own opinion about this because I know you guys as adults. So, I've heard rumors that this person was very rough. But who had the worst temper?
The oldest sister, Debbie.
Yes. You had the worst temper?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Oh, well, I guess I can understand.
You got
how many girls?
It was four girls, but you have to understand, I grew up around 4 boys before another girl came along. So, you know, I used to play tackle football with my brothers, baseball with my brothers. I practically did everything with my brothers. So, by the time the girls came along, I was a little bit older than them. So, I guess I kind of gave them a hard time.
Now, all of you are mothers. I myself couldn't picture myself having kids. One, I just don't have the patience to have children. They're cute and all, but that's really great. For me, looking at my mother and, you know, and you two as my aunts, It always seems like you guys have things under control. That might not be true at all. Everything might be going to chaos. But how, as a mother, as a parent, do you make it one by one? Do you make it seem like everything is just okay? Marsha?
Because, well, from Marsha's view, is that a parent, that's the responsibility of a parent and of a mother. And even if the father is in the home, because most of the time the father is busy working. So the mother is who controls the house and makes sure things are orderly and things are okay. Because as the old saying go, if mama ain't okay, the house ain't okay. So when mama's good, the house is good. And one thing about mama gonna make sure the house is good. So that's my thought on that.
I actually concur with her. Basically the same thing.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
same thing.
I know you don't.
Well, I can't even remember the question.
I said that as a mother,
Guess I was too long-winded. I guess I was too long-winded.
Okay, I forgot what it was.
I asked, as a mother, how do you guys always make it seem like everything is okay?
Well, I feel as a mother, because you're always going to be there for your children 100% and nothing less. And I don't care what kind of difficulties are happening in the home. You just have to be strong to inflict that upon your children, and then that way they will be strong. You know, we have battles that we fight every day in society, just being women, and you have to be the best that you can be, and nothing less.
Now, that's a good thing. I like that you said that about being a parent. I asked my best friend this question. She gave me a really good answer. I'm not going to give you her answer, but I want yours. It always seems that once you become a parent, once you become a mother, you lose whoever you were prior. When I think of my mother, I just see Karen. I know who Karen, my mother is. I've heard things about, I heard she was a firecracker when she was younger. So I've heard things about my mother. I've heard things about, our cousins, that if one fight, all y'all fight, and that's a lot of people to fight. But things about Marsha and Debbie but why does it seem, as a parent, being that you lose yourself, you lose who you are sometimes when you have a child, because it's really all about the child once they get here. You make sure that you still have a piece or hold something for yourself that has nothing to do with being somebody's parent.
Well, it's Marsha speaking. But I feel that it's, once you have a child, once you bring something into this world, then even though you know who you are, mm-hmm. it becomes about the child themselves. Because they can't help themselves. Mm-hmm. So you have to nurture them and bring them to where they should go. You can't force them to go anywhere once they become adults, but you can stack the deck for them. So then to give them a running start. And I think that's what happens when it becomes mother versus raising a child. Because the child become more important than your life because they got more years in front of them than you have in front of you.
Okay. So before any one of you answer, let me ask the question differently. Let's take off caring for the child. Because that's going to be what your life is once your child gets here. That's pretty much not, I mean, it might not be true. But in my opinion, as a parent, you're always going to be a parent for your child as long as your child is here. That's your sole job now, is taking care of the child. But what does Marsha do for Marsha? That's really what I'm asking.
Marsha will do for Marsha.
I know,
But the importance of it, Marsha
Marsha
has to make sure what she brought in this world is okay.
Right.
And that it's going to do well. You give them everything you can give your child what they need. I'll take care of myself. But my first and foremost is my child. Because my child, when you say child, they can't speak for themselves. So you have to be your child's advocate. And that's what's important. Until they grow up and be grown, and then you have to let them go and do what they need to do.
Now after, okay, go ahead.
Now, that's a good answer. But when
You
when-
just negated my answer. When you say but, you negate an answer, but go ahead.
when you when you become a mother, and like you said, when the child grows up, you do have to take care of that child. But once the child grows up, gets up to adult age, where you can kind of let them go their own way, that's when you begin to, take care of you. You begin to do for you. Like, we take trips, we go on cruises, we do everything we want to do. We go out of town, we travel, but we do make sure that the house, the adult, even the adult child or the child itself is cared for and everything is taken care of. But we still gonna do for ourselves.
Being a parent, when I first became a parent, when I was pregnant with my son, I knew I was pregnant, but I had not engaged the fact that I was really having a child until they brought my son into the room. And then I realized, I said, oh my God, I am a parent. So, from that point, raising my son, I would have to say that I have just always been there for him. But now me, as a parent, my son is an adult now. So he does his own thing and I do my own thing. We had to learn I had to learn kind of how to cut that umbilical cord. Because you never really want to let that part of that child go. Even though it was cut from birth, you still feel that part, that umbilical cord is still there. For some reason, you never want to let go of that part. So,
But as Moses said to Pharaoh,
what did he say?
you let my people go.
So I had to learn how to separate that part with me and my son. Cause I think that my son being an adult, I think he still felt that I was holding on too tight. And one day he told me, he said, Mama, you do you and I'ma do me. So when he said that, I knew then, I said, you know what, it's time to step back.
Now that you said that I can agree with that. I have a bit of my cousins here. We all probably feel that amen to that last thing. So let us go. Yes, Auntie Marsha.
I just want to say this. You guys may want us to let you go.
But I still want.
But in times of trouble, who you come talking to?
Hello.
Say it.
The
Say
parents.
it. The parents.
That's your job.
At the end of the day. So you might want us to cut that string, but you still want us to stay close,
You tell them.
just in case.
Cause there's some stuff.
So all I'm saying is this: give your parent that leeway. Give them time, because they done had all these years raising you, making you who you are. So give them time to let you go. That's all I'm saying.
Give them time to let you go. Well,
give them time. It ain't gonna take long.
Yeah, because you know what?
Because even my son Quayla's here filming, and he know I'm letting him go.
Quayla, as somebody that's older, you got a while.
He's got a ways to go.
Got a ways to go.
But you know what? Let me tell you that.
But there's nothing. Speaking for somebody that's in their 30s, there's nothing wrong with it. Because I know that if I need something, because it's certain stuff that, you know, and personally speaking, this adulting thing is trash. Okay? Trash. We don't like it. You know, being responsible. Who wants to do that? Don't like it. I don't like to pay no bills. I don't care about nothing. I don't want to see no bills. I just, you know, this adulting thing. If I can go back to being 16, I would. All I had to do was know how to drive, and what's funny, the person that taught me how to drive is the reason why my mother says I can't drive, and that would be your sister Marsha.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Mom?
My sister Ma, she drives crazy.
She do drive crazy, and that's why that's how I drive, cause of her.
But you know what? When you helical cord or cut the cord, I didn't have a problem with letting her go, letting her do her own thing. I didn't have a problem with it. Yeah, at 16 and 18 years old, or maybe even 19, I was asking where you're going. But now it's not an issue. You go where you want to go and do what you want to do.
Now, since we have an iPhone, you can go to Find My app and you can track my location.
Thank you very much.
So you ain't got an app. You can look at it. It's even worse. Now it's even worse.
This is Debbie speaking. I can truly say I have not gotten out of that habit, because I still ask my sister and them, where are they going? You know, so I ask everybody, where you going? So I have not gotten out of that habit, because I'm so used to asking. You know, I have always asked my son, what are you doing? Where are you going? So, you know, it becomes a part of your life. You just want to know, you know. And then in these days and times, sometimes we need to know, because it's so much trouble out here in this world today. And I think I watch a lot of ID.
You watch too much ID.
But ID has true stories. And if you don't know where your family members are, you're not allowing them to be. I understand that they know how to be safe, but you just want to make sure they are safe. And you want to know where they're going, who they are with. So if anything do happen, then you can say, okay, my daughter went here, or my son went there. That was the last thing that was spoken between us. So that's the reason for holding on tight.
Yeah, and you know, and that's how y'all is. Now, I apologize because I forgot, because I have another aunt through marriage, but I mean, she's been here so long, so I don't even know how long by now, by time wise. So, hey, Auntie Linda.
Hi, Carissa.
How you doing?
Good.
Auntie Linda, how long have you been a part of the family? You know how many years?
I've been legally a aunt for 25 years, but we dated about 5 or 6 years, so about 30 plus years.
So, was I here yet?
No.
I wasn't here yet?
No.
So I wasn't here yet. You are married to my Uncle Eric. How long have y'all been married?
25 years.
That's a long time. You're the only one I know, so. So you guys been married for 25 years. How is it being married? What's the struggles of being married?
It is a struggle, but when people ask me about marriage, I always tell them that it's two people with different attitudes, different personalities coming together as one. The main thing when you're married is that you have to listen to each other, trust them, respect them, and mostly all, it's a lot of give and take. It's a lot of give and take, and you have to be really patient with each other and learn to just, sometimes when you have an argument, you just got to say, okay, I'm done, that's it, and it's over with.
So it's not about winning the argument.
No, it's not about winning the argument, because you're going to say what you have to say, he's going to say what he has to say, and there isn't a winner. You both have to just listen to each other's side and then say, I'm done, and then he's in his part of the house, I'm in my part of the house.
Now, you have two children, two of my younger cousins. What is it like? I think you're not the only auntie that has two, but the year gaps isn't so long. Isn't so big, at least. What is it like raising two kids, a boy and a girl?
It was good. I'm still raising them. They still at home with me, but so I always tell them until they're out of the house, they're not fully grown. But when I first had Eric, I really wanted a girl, but I'm glad that I had the boy first because he more looks out for Alana, which they don't get along as well as I would like them to, but I know they would take care of each other. And Eric, he looks out for me more than Alana does. I know that if I need something, Eric he will be there for me and get it for me right away if I really need it. Alana is more okay, Mom, I got to go. And then Eric is more what you need? Okay, I'm gonna get it, but not right now. But if I say I need it right now, he'll make sure I get it.
Yeah. Talking about breathing your child.
Oh, just go ahead.
Well, being a
Good job.
parent, the same question that I asked them. Does your life stop when you become a parent? Does Linda's life stop when she became a parent?
When they first was born, it was more about them, yeah. Everything was centered around them. I had to do what I needed to do for them. Even though their father was there, I had to make sure everything that they needed, I got it done. And if I told him he needed to do something, he would do it, but I had to make sure that everything, that I did all the cooking, the extracurricular activities, taking along the ballet. He did the baseball with Eric, but now that they're 27 and 24, I feel like they can do more on their own, but I always still tell them that they're not fully grown until they're out of our home. And Eric, he comes to me more, whereas Alana goes to her dad more. So that's how they are.
This kind of follows up the question that I asked before when I asked about being a parent and what do you do for yourself? Is there ever a feeling of losing your identity when you become a parent? Because especially when it's like a new baby, no one asks about you anymore. It's how's the baby? How's the baby doing? So is there ever a feeling of, hello, I'm still here? How am I doing? Is there ever like a feeling like you losing your identity because don't nobody ask about you anymore?
When they were younger, you felt like that because they always asked, how's the kids doing? And how old are the kids? What grade are they now? Are they in college, high school, or whatever? It was all about them. And now, when they ask about them, they just say, what are they doing? Are they working? Are they still at home? Are they married? Are you a grandmother now? No. So they still ask about them, but
Probably say no with a sigh of relief.
but now I do tell people it's our time now. I tell Eric it's time for me and him to do the things that we wants to do. You know, we can plan trips together and stuff and not worry about who's going to take care of them while we are gone, because they can take care of themselves, hopefully, and not care of the house while we away.
I'm having whole parties. I would be having whole parties at the house. So, here's a question that I would like everyone to answer. It is I guess a hard question. One of my biggest fears of being an only child is when my mother passes away, because I will be alone. You know, she's told me what she wants, you know, after that happens. But it's still a big fear of me, even though I have 100 cousins. And, you know, if I still have my aunts or uncles, I have support. But it's still a fear. Is that, do you, with you guys, you know, you guys aren't spring chickens no more. You know, you know, God be willing, all y'all live to y'all 120, I hope so, okay? Because who house we gonna be coming over? Still Marsha's.
Really?
Last year.
But do you speak to your children about, you know, if something happens to you, about death, about how, what they should do, how you want everything done? It might not be a great subject. It's not one that's a touchy one, but you know, it happens. So my question is, you know, do you? my question is, do you speak to your children about you know, you not being here anymore and how you want your services? And you know, my mom has, you know, she has a whole folder and paperwork and everything. But I tell her, you know, I'm gonna do some stuff the way I want it. She can't say nothing then. So, yeah. So that's whoever wants to go first. I'm gonna say Marsha. Marsha, do you speak to Quaylen about, you know, you not being here?
All the time.
All the time. Because one thing, I speak with Quaylen all the time about death. Because one thing is assured in this life, you will die.
Yeah.
That's just it, and that's just all. And I tell him you can grieve, you can cry, you can do all of that. But one thing, life goes on. I loved you, you love me, and it's all gravy, but we have to move on from that. Because one thing, I'm not coming back. And you have to move on. And I let him know that. And it's okay to be sad when holidays come for a little while. But you can't carry that for the rest of your life. Because this is your life, so go and live it. Have fun, enjoy. Because that's what that person would want you to do. And that's all I got to say.
Well, I haven't really just sit down and spoke with Eric and Alana about it, but I guess it's something that we need to discuss, me and Eric, with them. Because like Marsha said, one day we all have to go that way. And I guess it's something that we all need to discuss with them. I haven't really talked to them about it. Just actually had a full conversation with them about it. We have talked about it just casually, but not what I really would want them to do in details.
Do you want to answer or no? Or did I answer for you? You answered for me. Okay.
Yes, I have spoken with my son concerning if I should pass away. But he really refuses to hear it. He always says, Mom, you're going to live to be 100. We don't need to talk about this. And I always tell him, you know, you still have to be prepared for if you do have to face that decision. And so I sent him a text message one day telling him everything that I wanted him to do. And he texts me back and says, Mom, you know what, don't send me any more text messages like this. So, my son is very sensitive when it comes to death because when my mom died, he could not go to the hospital to see her. It just played a big effect on him. And I'm pretty sure it did the same to you, Carissa. Because our parents were more like parents to you all. So, I think this is something that if it should happen, that it would take my whole family to get my son through. You know, but I have left things in order so it won't be a struggle for him to make sure that everything is taken care of. And I am going to write up a will where what I want him to specifically do. You know, I'm kind of, you know, well. Anyway, I'm going to write what I really want him to do during the time if I should pass away. And then I'm also going to, I've talked to Marsha about it, you know, and I'm pretty sure Marsha will help Jermaine through some of the things. So, you know.
But can I interject?
Go ahead, Marsha.
Were you finished?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
She did.
She did?
She did. She did. She has talked to me
You
about
were
what she
walking.
wants. But I told her, you gonna be gone. You won't know. I'm just lightening the mood. That's all I'm doing.
Well,
She told me, yes, what she wanted and what she, her wishes were. But like I told her, if you gone, you don't know the difference. So, but anyway, I would respect her wishes.
And the reason that was because I told Marsha I did not want to be cremated. And
I told her I was going to cremate.
Why would you tell her?
I told Marsha, I said I do not want to be cremated. I don't want to be burned. Because I'm thinking like this.
You ain't gonna be here.
I'm thinking like this. I don't know if I'm going to heaven.
No.
Wait, I'm like this. I don't know if I'm going to heaven or hell. So ain't no need me getting burned before I get to hell. Right.
Come in.
Now y'all talking about the other side.
I think that the reason that prompted me to talk to Carissa about my plans for if I left here was when my parents died, when one of my parents died. To see that in the age that they were when they died, and then when one after the other family members began to die, even though, you know, we were able to prepare for their, you know, their services and stuff like that smoothly, it prompted me to begin to speak to my daughter about what I wanted and how I wanted it to be done.
Why I asked that question is because we have a very big family. I'll just speak for the cousins. Because of that, we have a lot of, aunts and uncles. And you guys pretty much do everything anyway. So when it get to holidays, when it gets to simple things, I don't know about this tax stuff. I don't know about, this going to court. Can you tell me about that? The reason why I ask that is because, especially for us individually, that'd be a hard thing because it's like, okay, these people do so much for us. So to make it easier on all of us that would be here, I would hope that you guys would please write something down because look, if y'all want, especially the older ones, me, Chanel, Jermaine, Lil Eric, Lana, Deidre, Quaylin, Peanut, y'all want us to figure something out? I hope y'all write everything. I hope y'all write everything down. Because if not, one, all y'all probably gonna be cremated because we are not finna go through like what in my opinion of what I saw when my grandparents passed away. It was very hard for you guys. So we not gonna go through that. Look here, y'all gonna get something cremated. Now you might not want to. Now if Marsha here, whoever, your son, that's your son. But I'm just saying that to make sure that you guys do write something down because you guys are so much a part of our life, it'll be hard for us when y'all are gone.
Excuse me, can I interject?
You certainly can.
This is Uncle James speaking.
I would prefer.
Uncle James back.
I would prefer to be buried.
Why?
Religious, more like religious thing. Where for generations, our people have been buried. Now this is something relatively new that people are being cremated. It might be the cost of the burial ground or whatever. It might be the cost of the burial ground as such is the reason it's costing more for funeralizing people. But I suggest everybody should get insurance and be properly buried as of what most of our older people do prefer, being buried in the ground. And me being probably, from what I can see, all the families of us have gone. And I hate to think of it, but the reality, I thought of that as looking down at the various variety of the family members who have left. And it does come to me as a thought, I would probably be the next in the family to go because of my age. But I can't let that stop me. I can't let it slow me down. I still feel that my mother lived till she's 93. And I comfortably think that I possibly could see that plus some.
That's right.
So I don't go forward looking backwards. All I do is look forward to be blessed.
I know that's right.
Y'all remember? I have a fond memory of Grandma. Y'all know what it is? There's two things, right? So I knew that she should not have sweets, but she, in her 90s, let her live her life, okay? So all the time I would hear Grandma, they be arguing all the time. But, so since I was at the house, I was younger. So all the time, it was just me and her. She was downstairs, in her bed watching her stories. I come down there, I give her these little Nutter Bar things, and me and her, my younger cousin, Quayle. I don't know how old he was. How old was he? A few months old.
I was around 2.
About 2. He was bad. Now what he would do is my grandma Canary she had this little rolling cane and a little rolling walker, and she would get up, to go to the bathroom. And every single time, now it didn't matter if somebody was holding him or he was in the bathroom, the kitchen playing with some pots and pans. He would never fail. He would get up, he would crawl to her and stand on the middle of the walker and just stand there and would not let her continue to walk. And all you would hear is her say, somebody come and get this baby. Somebody come and get this baby. Those are like fond memories of growing up in a household with a bunch of people.
And he would actually take her walker. He would take her walker from her.
He was bad.
Yeah.
Your child was bad. Did you have something to say?
I disagree that my son was bad, but okay.
Thanks, Mom.
Remember we used to have to put him in front of the fishes to make him be
True. Calm down.
She had to calm down.
Sometimes the fish did help, sometimes it didn't.
Therapy, huh?
But no, I think that the main thing is that, you know, when it comes to family, it's very important that we do get together and we do love on each other. Because at the end of the day, you know, rather we have all these holidays and all this stuff, that's not the important part of it. Not the gifts, not that. It's the part of getting together and letting each other know that I see you.
Can I interject one little thing in that? Is this is the part of heaven that we enjoy on earth. That family coming together as a group and enjoying being among ourselves.
And me personally, I feel that family is all you got. And I don't miss a beat with telling my family that I love them. And I don't miss a beat with giving a hug. Because I don't know if tomorrow is going to be my last day.
She gonna hug.
And I want you to remember that last hug.
and send you the longest
And I want
text
you to, oh my God, I don't stop texting.
I don't read.
And I want you to remember me saying I love you, because that's important.
Yeah.
You know, it means a lot. People, they fall short of that today. Families do. But to me, you got to give that. You have to give that back. Because our parents gave it to us. So we need to pass it on. So our generation don't fail. That they know family is the most important thing.
And it's not all about family. It's about extended.
Absolutely.
Because it don't have to be blood related
That's
to
right.
be family.
Oh, definitely.
It has
can
to
be
just to
friends.
be friends.
Yeah.
Whoever.
Whoever you care
You
about.
can love somebody without it being a family. People
Yeah.
adopt kids all the time.
Yeah.
And they have the love. Right. But
you
Leo,
know-
we love, you know, Leo is part of our
Well,
family.
Leo is
He's our
family.
adult, and he ain't never
He
left.
is our family now.
Leo is family.
No addition, never left.
Absolutely. I feel like this.
He is family.
I feel like this. Anybody that come into our family,
Oh, you gotta get jumped out.
they already know they family. They already know it. You know?
Push in like the mafia. You ain't.
Can't get out.
Ain't no getting out. And you gonna edit this and all that, right?
Yeah.
Please edit.
I'm gonna have to.
Okay, come on.
She has no choice.
I ain't got no choice.
All right, come on, let's do this.
Yeah, this is long.
What?
I done got sleep.
This have not been long.
On Sunday I do 5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, she did about 5.
But this is good. I like this podcast thing because this is good because it helps to understand about real family, real things, real situations, and that's good.
Yeah.
Because everything is, like I said, everything is 100.
Yeah.
I gotta put it out.
Okay, let's rock and roll.
I'm talking.
It was recorded, so it heard all that.
Oh,
no,
my
cut
God.
all that, girl.
That's the magic.
I don't want nobody putting that out there, girl. They be like, your auntie crazy.
They gonna know from
They already know you crazy.
They didn't heard the first 35 minutes.
Well, you know what? Since they're listening,
Why you ain't tell me?
wait.
All right, so
You could really talk, Eric?
where you?
Oh.
She got to ask us one last
Where
question.
you going?
Go ahead.
You
Go
can't
ahead.
answer from behind me.
Okay.
No, stand where you was. Now, come on, we got 2 more questions, and then the older people can go.
Questions short.
You just cut me off the last time. You don't be putting my business out there.
Come on, come on.
Keep your answers short.
She says she can edit all
You
that.
better add it.
Well, no, it's still gonna be tough questions.
You
That's
better
supposed to
add
be
it.
easy. So the next 2 questions, they're not really tough questions to me, but again, I'm not, you all. So, we grew up in a very religious household.
Yeah.
Our family is very faith-based. We grew up, I would say, Apostolic Baptist, Koji.
Apostolic.
Mostly apple.
Okay. So we grew up in so just to say that God was a staple in our household
So true.
and our upbringing, and it has of course stayed with us as we've all gotten older. Here is my question with that. With that being said, I want everybody's opinion if you do have one. In black households, why is therapy?
What?
Therapy, mental health, things that are almost spoken as if they do not exist.
Taboo.
Or if they are taboo.
There you go.
Why is religion the cure-all for mental health or going to therapy? But why isn't therapy also encouraged? Before y'all answer the question, I have something to say prior. So, with that, what I believe, I greatly believe that prayer answers and works. Because that's what I believe. I've seen prayer and God do wonderful things. Me, myself, being here of my birth is a prime example. Me being 33 is a prime example, because at birth they said I wasn't going to be here anyway, or I was going to have some issues, or I wasn't going to be able to walk, talk, think, or anything. So I know that God is real and prayer works, because my own grandparents told my mama to don't go back and see that baby because she ain't gonna make it, but God had another plan for that. But at the same time, mental health is real. Having, anything, depression, being bipolar, being psychosis, these words aren't made up. These words are real. And therapy, as well as prayer, can be an asset. Now, I understand that in the 50s and the 60s, I probably wouldn't have went to therapy during that time either. Because, I don't know what the temperature was regarding black people going to therapy, especially because you were only going to go to white people, which 85% of all therapists are still white. So there aren't many black people for us to speak to. And I also think that we have a phobia or a mistrust to speak to white people about our issues. That we only maybe might think that only someone that looks like us will be the only people that understand us truly. So my question to you all, growing up how we grew up, one is, how do you feel about mental health? And how do you honestly feel about therapy? Now, I understand that those two answers might be long-winded, but please try to keep it short. And also because me myself, I am very sensitive to mental health issues. If you are going to say something that will resemble that, saying that it's not real or that that person is weak, I will stop the recording.
Okay.
So I'm going to let my Uncle James go first. Uncle James.
Well, as I said earlier, I have been in a variety of religious structures.
Mm-hmm.
One was Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
The second, probably I had a lot of respect for Islam, but the main one that I really took a longer time in, and that was Hebrew. But the key, leaving all of that, as to go to spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
As I think I've said earlier, God and myself is one, meaning God is a part of me. And being a part of me, spirituality is the only way that I know that I relate to the greater power, who is God. Or whether he's my psychiatrist or whatever, however you want to put it, I all trust and all my faith and strength goes toward the Creator God.
I just feel like Marcia, I just feel like when it relates to mental health, when it relates to therapy, I think we have to think back when black people, we didn't have those options back then. So we had to rely on our religion. So that's what we had.
So once that has not accomplished what you were looking for, then, like my sister and sister-in-law said, it's not a problem seeking help outside of, the church, because the church is there to help you also. But like my sister-in-law said, God uses men or professionals to help you get to the next step that you need to get to in order to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish mentally and physically.
Okay, I do believe that, excuse me, I do believe that our ancestors, with the trauma that they went through, and they did not get help because they believed in religion, that some of the stuff that they went through, I'm pretty sure they did need therapy, but they were able to get through it. And now moving to the earlier times, as during the time that I was born, or my parents were born, then yeah, we dealt with everything religious-wise. But as I got to be an older adult, I did have an issue with my father passing away, because I was a daddy's girl. And I did go get therapy, and it did help. His death lingered with me for about a year, and I did go get therapy, and I was able to get through it. But I must also say that I worked in the mental health field as a mental health professional and a substance abuse counselor. And one thing I did discover, that some of these people that give you the mental health that you need, some of them more off they rocket than the people that really need it. And I mean, I dealt with those type of people. I seen that they got greater issues than the clients themselves. So sometimes it is a thin line between religion and seeing a therapist. It's all in who you believe is helping you. And that's what I think about it.
I must say that that was awesome. You guys did an excellent job for never being on a podcast or really even knowing what a podcast is for real. But if you guys didn't tell you, I'm going to edit this out and put this out with millions of people that can listen to it.
Thank you.
And all of that. But I want to thank you guys so much for being honest and open. This is probably the most that I've talked to y'all ever. So thank you everybody for listening. This is the Christmas special. The next episode I'm gonna do is with the younger generation, and that one's gonna be a little turned up because they turned up.
Okay, go on. You don't know do your part.
Sweet silver bells all seem to say, no cares away. Christmas is here, bringing the cheer to young and old, meek and the bold.